Alright, so we are back. Grace has just left for the night, and Gabriel is looking to make a late night phone call.
Dang.
Aw, poor Gabriel. And without Malia here to comfort us, we again have the nightmares. The wheel within a wheel that the good professor told us about. And again, this medallion. Day 6. And then the night became as day. I glimpsed nature's reddest claw. The face of fear looked back at me as I gazed into the maw. Just start of a casual day. Nothing to see here. And a creepy, plucked, dying but not dead chicken.
What?
Gabriel?
I see it, Grace. Hold on.
There's no one in the shop, and I know there's no one in back. It's okay.
Okay. Gabriel, that thing is still barely alive. How could someone do this?
With a knife, maybe?
God, don't even start. We should call the police.
No. I'll take care of it.
But Gabriel...
I said I'll take care of it. Why don't you go get some coffee? I'll have it all cleaned up before you get back.
Oh, they know where you live now.
It's gonna be fine. Now go on. Are you sure you don't want to go home? I could close the shop today.
No. I'd rather keep busy. I'll be fine. At least that creepy guy is gone. Ugh. Not that they aren't still watching. Anyway, speaking of keeping busy, we got that book you ordered in this morning. The one on rotted drums.
Really? Great.
Gabriel!
I see it. Stay back.
Interesting. What do you think this is? Secret note?
It's just an envelope.
I can see that.
Well, let's take a look at what it says.
Gabriel opens the envelope and finds a note from Mosley and a small brass key.
Mosley? Why is he sending us weird notes?
Mosley's note says,
Gabe, I have to go underground with this thing. It runs wide and deep throughout the department and the city board. I'm already being watched. It was suggested I take vacation time, so I am. At least as far as they know. Try to keep out of this. It's too hot for a rookie. Just in case, I'm sending you my office key. You might find some useful things there. P.S. I think this note will look great in the book, don't you? Make sure you save it.
the note is signed, Detective Mosley.
Oh, Mosley. We got this rotted drum book, too, we can take a look at. Alright, so it seems like there's some kind of symbols that represent various words. Okay. One thing we do want to do, and theoretically we should wait for this till we actually know that we need it, but I'll just do it now to save some time, is I can show this sketch that we made of the tattoo from Crash's chest.
Will you do me a favor?
What?
use your paints to copy this snake tattoo onto my chest.
Now, why on earth would you want me to do that?
Good way for it to get closer. It's a good luck snake. Wards off evil. Going to a party tonight.
I'm going to a party tonight. Costume, you know.
You don't say. I guess you're going with Malia.
Yeah, that's right.
And why should I help you out? We don't even like Malia.
I know you feel inferior. That's a... All the world loves lovers. You're jealous. That sounds like a good way.
Oh, if you're jealous about my feelings for her.
You know that's not it. I just think, as your friend, that she's trouble.
It's perfectly understandable. I know you have certain feelings for me. Quite naturally.
Me? I would rather be hung by my hair over a bed of scorpions.
I know it must be hard having it in your face like this. No chance to avoid hearing about it, seeing it day by day.
Fine, I'll do it. Just shut up. Can we at least go in the back?
Sure, but could you say that one more time and pout your lips more?
Ugh.
Gabriel certainly does lay it on pretty thick.
What did I say?
All right, let's go. The shirt, please.
You don't know how long I've been waiting for this moment.
Now. Hold still.
Maybe you'd like to tie me out?
One more remark, and I'm leaving.
Okay.
Done. It's just stunning.
That was
Sorry I
fast.
couldn't make it last longer.
Well, it was about what I expected from you.
Oh, goodness. Alright, can't forget to read the paper, of course.
Times Picayune, dated the 23rd of June, 1993. Gabriel finds an article about St. Jean's Eve. It discusses the day's Catholic roots and its adoption by voodoo devotees. In the early to mid-1800s, St. Jean's Eve was celebrated with elaborate voodoo gatherings at Lake Pontchartrain, Bayou St. Jean, and other sites outside the city. These days, the day is commemorated commercially in some of the local shops, and a few churches still hold a St. Jean's Eve Mass. Despite his better judgment, Gabriel reads his horoscope. Today you will either die or your life will change forever.
Sure, why not? It is St. John's Eve. They'll be out tonight for sure. But where?
So we could have learned a little bit more about St. John's Eve by talking to some people, but we don't really need to, so I kind of skipped over most of those. But Gabriel is right. This ancient voodoo cult will definitely be meeting on a night like this.
Are you going to be okay here by yourself?
I'll be just fine. Just fix this, okay?
I'm trying, Gracie.
But we need a way to learn where that meeting is going to be if we want to see what's going on. So we now have this book on how to understand the Rotter drums. So let's go somewhere where we often see a drummer. And take out our book.
Gabriel listens carefully to the drums and opens his radar book to translate.
So these various symbols represent different symbols within the book. And you can turn the page. So we have what's happening, timing, and where. And this can take a little while to wait for the pattern to play itself out, so I'm not actually going to sit and wait for it. I will just jump ahead to the point where they are calling a conclave meeting tonight, which, yeah, if you look right here, we have that sort of M, this double H, upside down T's, and another M is call conclave. It is happening tonight. We can see that here, the sort of W upside down TW. And H. Oh, alright, there we go. We already have it. Swamp. The double H, W, double upside down T's, and the double H.
If Gabriel's translation of the drum code is correct, there'll be a conclave tonight in the swamp. That must be the bayou.
Alright. Let's get out of here. There we go. Okay, so let's see if we can find our way to where the conclave is happening. So we'll head out to the Bayou Saint Jean. Alright, so let's see if we can find our way through the swamp.
A cool sweat missed Gabriel's forehead. Where is he again?
Alright, well, if we're getting kind of lost, we'll just make sure we always go in the same direction.
Gabriel feels confused.
It's alright, we'll just keep a steady course.
Gabriel can hear the sound of drums, but it seems to be coming from inside his head, rather than any specific direction. Gabriel feels confused.
This looks familiar. Damn, I'm back where I started.
Something in the bayou air is confusing Gabriel's sense of direction. He could use some less susceptible assistance.
Alright, so if there's something messing with our head, maybe we can find something like a compass or something like that that'll be less likely to confuse us. Maybe the good detective has something like that in his office. So we have his key, so let's go check that out. Alright, let's head back.
You got no business back there now. Move along. Sorry.
Interesting. Since when can't we go back there? Maybe we just gotta talk to
Got
him.
a second, officer?
What can I do you for?
So yeah, we can ask him all about this stuff, and he doesn't have a great deal of interest, but
I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
We don't have a Detective Mosley here.
What? I've seen him all week.
Listen to what I'm saying. We don't have a Detective Mosley on the force.
interesting. And if we take a moment to look,
It's an antique umbrella stand.
it looks like it has a snake on it, which is an interesting bit of decor for a police station. So let's head out, and if we had spent more time at the police station earlier on day one, we would have seen this gentleman spending some more time there, and that the cops are very interested in the food he has to sell. So maybe we can use him as a distraction.
Hello.
What can I do for you, sir?
Say, haven't I seen you before?
I get around the French Quarter. Used to be at Royal and Conti.
You say you used to be at Royale and Conti?
That's right.
Why'd you leave Royal and Conti?
Well, the guy who used to be here, the lucky dog guy, he was my cousin Ralph. He went off to college, see, and this spot came open. I thought Jackson Square'd be a better gig, you know? Tourists and all.
Is it?
Well, no, actually.
I think you're just kind of supposed to know that Royale and Conti is where the police station is.
Why don't you go back there?
Do you think? I've been kind of torn. Must be the weather. These thick clouds we've had all week. I'm just not seeing the crowds here that I expected.
I definitely think you should go back to Royal and Conti.
Really? I'm glad you think so. I always liked that beat, but I thought I ought to give this a shot.
Oh, absolutely. The grass is always greener.
Exactly. You're right. I'm going back over there today.
Beautiful. Alright, so this is the one thing I might end up having to do off screen. It can be a little tough to make it work. I'm going to try doing it with the speed all the way down. But the game just, I think is, I don't know what you want to call it, too advanced. The software, to the point where the events that happen at the police station happen much faster than they're really supposed to. So, I'm going to try and make this work where I can actually do it on screen, but if not, I may be forced to sort of pause the video.
Hey, it's a beignet guy. He's back.
Alright. Let's see if we can do
Where?
this. What is supposed to happen is that both of these people go outside to get snacks, and you have a very brief window to try and sneak out. But what often happens is that he comes back in
Grab 3 or 4, will ya?
immediately.
Forget it, I'm broke.
Rats. You stay put. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're supposed to have a few seconds there to try and get into Mosley's office. So I will try one time. So now that he's had his beignet, he should start to fall asleep. Yeah. But he also doesn't stay asleep, really. He pops right back up. So I'll try this once, and if he doesn't stay asleep, then I'm going to pause the video and do it off screen, and I'll come back when I'm in the office. Maybe. Alright.
Told you not to go back there. That area is for police business only.
It is? Gee, I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to pause here, and I will be back in a little bit. Alright, so we are in Mosley's office now. And so we can search around. Most of the things we just aren't interested in. Gabriel says he doesn't want to deal with it.
Gabriel would.
And I forget where the item is that we actually need.
Gabriel would. Nah. Gabriel.
Oh, there we go.
This tracker might come...
And that's pretty much all we need. So now we have this tracker here, and we can use that device to find our way through the swamp. However, oops.
Sorry.
We need still something that we can actually track. So what we want to do is head up to St. Louis Cemetery number 1. And if we look, I don't know how you're supposed to recognize this, but this is actually a new message.
Made made for...
So we'll write this one down as well with our book here.
Let me get these new marks down.
And you may do it automatically, or we may have to check. Let's see. Alright, yeah, so we need to use our first message and our second message together.
Gabriel takes the two messages for duplicate symbols and transfers the letters from the matches to the new message. He finds that he has the translation for all of the symbols, except for 3.
Alright, let's read our first message again.
It's Gabriel.
Oops. So, DJ Conclave tonight, bring Footcash, which we learned, I think, was the whip from the lesson we went to with the good doctor, the professor. And now let's read our second message. Dr. J, keep E-blank-E's on GK. Don't harm. So, kind of just have to figure out what this means. So, obviously, this is a Y. Keep eyes on GK, which is us, Gabriel Knight. But, this is a U, the X with a little U on top. But, don't harm. And this X, just with the little tail on the bottom, is an M. Okay, so, we now have a decent alphabet that we can use ourselves to potentially write a message. However, what message should we actually write? And not surprisingly, DJ is Dr. John. So if we head over to the museum,
Hello, Dr. John.
see Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
If you pay attention, you might notice this item here.
Professor Hartridge said that in Voodoo, a small ritual coffin is called a seke module.
Knowledge is power. So, what could we possibly do if we slip this in here?
Gabriel slips the signal device into the seke module.
Can I assist you, Mr. Knight?
No, just looking.
Now, if only they take the coffin to the ritual.
Alright, let's make that happen then.
I hate to rush you, Mr. Knight, but I am afraid I must close the museum early this evening. This is St. John's Eve, and it's getting on towards dusk. I have things I must do.
I see. No problem. I'll just...
Leave. Goodbye, Mr. Knight. May the spirits guard you well tonight.
Alright, so we could head back to the cemetery. And if we wait for a second for our friend to leave, as we don't want to be writing messages here, he doesn't tend to like that. For more than a second. There we go. Alright, and I don't think we have to wipe it. I think we just click this red brick that we had picked up on our first day.
I think I'll leave a message of my own.
That was some aggressive wiping. So, let's see if I can actually spell all this right. Dr. J. Let's see. Oh, maybe we'll mention the conclave as well. Dr. J. Now we'll just say bring. Am I going to spell this right? S-E. K-E-Y, and M. Sekimodule. Let me check how to spell this so I do it right. Oh, right. So no. M-A, module. M-A-D-O-U-L-E. So this should say, Dr. J, bring seke module, which hopefully Dr. John will know means.
Pleased with his message, Gabriel tosses the break down. Now, if only DJ reads it in time.
Alright, so now, with any luck, we should have a tracker being taken to the Conclave tonight. So if we take out our tracking device.
Gabriel pulls out the tracking device, hoping that the Sheki Module made it to the ritual and that this thing will work.
All right. There's a blip. They must be here with the Seike Madule.
Alright, so it's telling us, to go.
Didn't he just come from that direction? Or did he?
He wants to go east right now. Now, northeast.
Gabriel can barely focus on the LED with those drums in his head. He hopes he's reading it correctly.
East again.
Damn Mosley and his infernal machine. This better be working.
Looks like it's getting closer. East again.
Didn't he just come from that direction? Or did he?
Very consistently east. Alright, now kind of southeast. Barely southeast. Now we're a little bit to the west. Alright, so we could just walk in, and actually I don't know what happens if we try to just walk in, but there's probably some other things we should do instead, like...
I don't want that thing on my wrist.
Oh, fine, loser. We at least want our mask on.
When in Rome, here goes nothing.
Welcome, Brother Crocodile. Please join the other celebrants.
Yes, Dr. John. Brother Inkle.
But first, name the great serpent who crushes all in his coils.
This, I believe, we learned from the Professor, Hartridge.
Damballa.
You are correct, Brother Crocodile. Who is the destroyer of men?
And the Professor may have mentioned this, but Crash definitely talks about Ogun Badagri.
Ogun Badagri.
You are correct, Brother Crocodile. Enjoy yourself well tonight.
Something seems to have been sprayed in Gabriel's face. Some kind of hallucinogenic mist. Hallucinogenic. What is a dream and what is reality?
Gabriel!
Tetelo is the name that we read about in the journal from our ancestor.
I can smell his blood.
No.
You cannot change your destiny or ours.
No.
I will fight. I will destroy.
No!
Where is your enemies now, Richard? Where are your brave chains?
A lot just happened, but that'll do it for today. We'll come back with day 7.